Welcome to the deep dive. Ever wonder why economies look so, well, different depending on where you are?
Mm-hmm.
Today, we're sort of digging into economic geography, basically how we produce things, move them around, and use resources across the world.
Yeah, and it starts with those really basic connections, doesn't it? You see rich farmland, you often get agriculture developing.
Right, or you find mineral deposits and maybe industry pops up.
Exactly. What's really interesting is how much that natural environment, the geology, the climate, what's there kind of sets the stage.
It's not just scenery, it actively shapes economic possibilities.
Definitely. And early economic geography was, more about the where and what. Where are the factories? What do they make?
But modern thinkers like George Chisholm started asking why there? What are the real drivers? It became less descriptive and more analytical.
Spot on. And then you have folks like C.F. Jones and Gigi Darkenwald really zeroing in on that human-environment link. Why is one place great for cars and another for wine?
It's rarely just luck, is it?
Almost never. There are underlying reasons.
Okay, so let's break down the main types of economic activity people talk about in this field. There are four, right?
It's the standard model, yeah.
First up is primary. This is the real basic stuff, getting resources straight from the earth. Farming, fishing, forestry, mining.
Your raw material extraction. Then you've got secondary activities.
Which is,
Taking those raw materials and actually making something. Manufacturing, construction, transforming things.
got it. Then tertiary.
That's all about services and getting products to people. Think transport, communications, selling stuff, tourism. It connects producers and consumers.
Okay, primary, secondary, tertiary,
Hmm?
and the last one,
Is quaternary. This one's more recent, really. It's the knowledge economy stuff.
like finance, research.
Exactly. Finance, media, administration, education, R&D. Activities that basically help all the other sectors run better or innovate. It's becoming hugely important.
It feels like there are loads of ways to actually study this whole thing, too.
Oh, absolutely. You can look at specific regions or focus on a single topic like, say, the geography of energy.
There's even behavioral stuff, looking at why people make certain economic choices geographically.
Yeah, and the tools we have now, things like GIS, Geographic Information Systems, let us visualize and analyze spatial economic data in ways that just weren't possible before.
It seems very specialized now.
It has become quite specialized. You have agricultural geography, industrial, transport, tourism geography, each looking at specific activities, often with a big focus on resources and sustainability now.
Which makes sense. That brings us nicely to resources themselves.
Yeah.
The absolute basics: air, water, soil, minerals, plants.
The essentials for life. But crucially, not everything is a resource automatically.
What do you mean?
Well, as Eric Zimmerman famously argued, something only becomes a resource when humans figure out how to use it. It needs functionality, utility.
So like his idea of neutral stuff, things that are just there until we find a use.
Precisely, like coal maybe, before we understood how to generate power from it, it was just black rock. Or his concept of resistance.
Things that are actually harmful.
Initially, yeah. Like a river that always floods. It's a problem, a resistance, until we build flood defenses or figure out irrigation. Then it can become a resource. Knowledge and tech are the keys.
So is a resource the same thing as wealth?
Not quite, though they're related. Wealth usually has value in exchange. It's limited. You can transfer ownership, think land, factories, money.
But air isn't wealth in that sense.
Generally, no. Clean air is incredibly valuable, vital even, but it doesn't usually fit that economic definition of wealth. And sometimes things considered wealth can even be harmful.
Interesting distinction. How do geographers usually classify resources then?
There are a few main ways. Based on origin, are they natural, man-made, or even human skills themselves?
Okay.
Then structure. Biotic, meaning living things like forests, or abiotic, non-living like minerals or water.
Availability must be a big one.
Huge. Renewable or inexhaustible like solar or wind energy versus non-renewable or exhaustible like fossil fuels or minerals.
Right.
Once they're gone, they're effectively gone.
And ownership.
Right. Is it individual, like national, like Kaziranga National Park here in Assam is a national resource or even international, like resources in Antarctica or the high seas.
And location matters too, right? Some things are everywhere.
We call those ubiquitous resources like air, maybe sunlight, depending on where you are. Others are localized, only found in specific spots like those mineral deposits we mentioned.
That unevenness, the fact that some crucial stuff is non-renewable,
Yeah,
that must be why conservation is so important.
exactly that. Our population keeps growing, development demands more resources, especially those finite ones. We can't just keep using them up without thinking. Conservation is about sustainable use, using what we need without wrecking things for the future or just wasting it.
And it's not just about oil or minerals, is it?
Yeah.
Even renewable things need care.
Absolutely. Think about deforestation. You lose trees, sure, but you also impact biodiversity, soil, water cycles. It throws things out of balance. We see specific conservation drives too, like protecting endangered species, sarpaganda, the golden langur here in Assam, for instance. And pollution is a big factor from energy use, from chemicals in farming.
So what are the main ways we can actually do conservation?
Well, there are several key strategies. One is finding alternatives, think synthetic fibers instead of cotton maybe, or synthetic rubber. And crucially, developing renewable energy sources like solar or hydro to replace fossil fuels.
Recycling seems obvious.
Very important. Recycling plastics, paper, metals reduces the need to extract new raw materials. Then there's innovation, finding smarter ways to use the resources we have, maybe developing organic fertilizers.
Controlling waste?
Yeah, using byproducts like wood scraps from a sawmill might go to a paper mill instead of being wasted. Education is key too, making people aware so they don't waste resources needlessly.
And laws.
Definitely need conservation-related acts, and importantly, they need to be properly enforced. Plus, we need good assessment, knowing how much of a resource we actually have.
So we can plan.
Exactly. Assess the reserves for future planning, and also assess future needs, thinking about population growth, so we can anticipate demand and find alternatives before we run out or create massive waste. There are big organizations working on this too, internationally, like IUCN and WWF, and nationally, like our Ministry of Environment.
It really paints a picture of everything being connected, the economy, the environment, how we manage what we've got.
It's all tangled together. Which leads to a final thought for you listening. Think about the stuff around you that seems like neutral stuff right now, just ordinary things. What future discovery or need might suddenly make them incredibly valuable resources? And maybe more importantly, what part can you play in making sure we use all our resources, present and future, sustainably?